How was it out there today?
That was a little rough. It wasn't my day today, but playing with these guys, watching them play this game, as smooth as it gets, these two. So it was a lot of fun.
Joe Mauer, I mean, it's absolutely unbelievable. You grow up here. You get drafted by your hometown baseball team. You play the entirety of your career with that one team. It seems kind of like a Cinderella story. It doesn't happen anymore, especially with free agency. What did it mean to you to grow up here and play for your home team?
It was awesome. I mean, you got two guys sitting here that got to kind of live out their childhood dreams. You know, played. It was fun to watch Adam do that a couple years behind me. And, like I said, I don't know anything else, but I'm glad I don't. You know, being able to stay here and play in front of family and friends is just tremendous. And it just goes by way too fast. That's all.
Well, it does. It doesn't feel like that long ago since you were playing, actually.
It doesn't, and I'm not going to say how long I've been out of the game because it's a little longer than you'd think. But, no, it really is very lucky, fortunate to do what I was able to do.
And Rick Helling, of course, another major leaguer there. What's it like being back here in the home state and playing in this tour and being able to compete again after being a professional player?
Well, I'm the oldest of all of us by quite a ways, so
you don't have to call yourself out like that.
I'm happy to do it. You know, I'm just happy to compete again, and we all obviously love golf and have, it's my competitive outlet now. That's kind of what I do to compete, and this tour has been amazing. Like you just get to come out and play with other guys that are competitors that love golf. And you get the locker room feel back, you get to hang out with the boys, and but then you go out on the course and you're trying to beat each other up a little bit. It's been awesome. It's a really cool thing.
Adam, is that part of it too? That kind of locker room feel. And I know we don't have the physical locker room on this particular leg of the tour, but be able to sit not only with guys from your own sports but other sports. And even last night when Jeremy Roenick was talking, he was asking Jerome Bettis questions about football. And it's funny how, when you're a pro, you just assume you know other pro sports. You don't, and it's kind of nice to sit with other guys and learn about what their careers were like, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things about playing in these events. And when I was playing and playing these events, I really used it to help me in my game. Talking to these guys that play different sports, do different things, and are at the top of their game, or were at the top of their game. I really used the things that they would talk about to help me to perform. And now it's become a little bit of a fraternity, right? You get to hang out with these guys that you build relationships with. You get to see them at each one of these events, and it's a really special relationship that you build with these guys.
Joe Mauer, when did golf kind of become a sport for you and competing at this type of level? When did you really start getting into it?
Probably right after I retired. You're talking about competing at this level. I was fortunate to get invited out to the American Century Championships out there in Lake Tahoe, and that's always been a fun weekend for me. And to add this tour to the list, it's awesome. Having a great time out here, great group of guys, and like the guys have been saying, it's a great environment, and there's that appreciation, and what it takes. When you look across, at the other sports, what it takes to get to their levels, and you appreciate that, and you pick up things, and you start finding out there's a lot of similarities, so it's a lot of fun.
Rick, you called yourself out as the oldest guy here, but as I look at the leaderboard, you're number one right now, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it. We were first out, so I was able to post the score, and there's going to be plenty of guys passing it up, but I was happy with how I played today. It's a good round for me, and playing with these guys made it even better.
Being a Minnesota guy, have you played this course a few times? Are you familiar with Mystic Lake?
Yeah, not as much as you'd think. I played it last week. I know the GM here, and we went out and played a few holes last week, and then the practice rounds this week. And I think I played it 19 years ago, right after it opened, and I didn't remember anything. So it was nice to come out last week and get a little 14-hole preview for sure.
Well, you can always ask Shigetoshi Hasegawa. He played it 5 times before we played today. He showed up on Thursday and got after it a little bit. But I understand the baseball guys. They got time to play golf a little bit. When you play football, it's a little different animal as far as finding your windows of opportunity. When did the game become important to you?
Yeah, well, taking 7 months off every year is pretty tough.
I mean, that helps. Yeah, but you got to stay in shape.
Yeah, it's tough. 7 months away from the game of golf is not easy. So I'm excited to not have to put my clubs away in August anymore.
Yeah.
And be able to play fall golf for the first time in my life. So excited about that. But yeah, I mean, I've always enjoyed the game of golf, but haven't really loved it until now. Just being able to get that competitive itch again, and it's all in me, right? Like,
right.
I've been a team sport guy my whole life, and you have someone else to rely on. You have someone else to kind of maybe make an excuse like, oh, the quarterback overthrew me, or you know, the O-lineman didn't block the guys, so I didn't get the ball. But now there's no excuses. It's all on me. Like, you know, I'm upset today after my round, and it's because I didn't do well enough and I didn't focus well enough. And that's what you love about this game. Like, there's always room for improvement mentally and physically with your swing.
Yeah, Joe, it's interesting. When baseball, you have a team to rely on. Golf's very much an individual sport, and it's a little different animal. And I don't know what kind of nerves you may have played with. When you got called up to the majors and you're playing in your home city, I got to imagine that's pretty nerve-wracking. Kind of compare that to playing in the tour environment of the pro.
Yeah, well, I think this is a whole different animal for me personally, just because, you know, the amount of time that you put into your craft, you know, with a bat or a baseball, you know, you feel pretty confident and comfortable out on a big league baseball field. But I could tell you I was anything but comfortable out on the golf course today. But, you know, playing with these guys and, you know, getting out there, having some fun, sharing some stories, having some laughs, you know, you kind of settle into a little bit. But, yeah, when you stand over that ball that's not moving, you know, a lot of things can go through your head.
Yeah, I can't imagine. And Rick, you know, you played with the Marlins and traveled around a little bit. But did you have Vikings gear as kids? Did you have Twins gear as kids? I mean, I can't imagine. I grew up outside of Detroit. I had the Lions plastic helmet and all that stuff. D3 is about as far as I could go as a wide receiver. But when you finally put on that jersey for the first time, what does that feel like?
Yeah, for me, I mean, I grew up with Vikings, Twins, you know, all of them, Timberwolves, Lynx, all of that, and we're so blessed in Minnesota to have all the pro sports, right?
Right.
And you take it for granted as a kid, but yeah, when I was first able to kind of put that Vikings jersey on, it didn't feel real because it just felt like I was just playing football. You know, there was no difference than playing college or high school. Like, it's the same game. It's no different. You got to run the same routes. You got to catch the football when it's thrown to you, and it didn't feel real. When I felt like it was real was when Randy Moss and Chris Carter, my childhood heroes, right? When they're coming to me and talking about my game and interviewing me and asking me questions about, you know, how I'm doing the things I'm doing, like, that's when it became real for me. But what a blessing to play for a hometown team, and it meant a little bit more to me, right? Like, I grew up a Vikings fan,
100%,
and now I'm playing, and like those games against the Packers, like, that meant a little bit more to me than guys that maybe grew up somewhere else.
Did you stare at that Twins jersey and just think, boy, this is unbelievable?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like Adam said, you know, you grow up rooting for your hometown teams, whether it be the Twins or the Vikings or, you know, now the Wild. And, yeah, I always enjoy watching those teams do well and have some success. And, you know, then you look down on the front of your jersey, you see the team that you've been rooting for your whole career. It's pretty surreal. And, you know, looking back on it now, you know, I was fortunate to do it for 15 years. And, like I said, that 15 years just goes by way too fast.
Well, Rick, you know, as we look at the standings for the next 8, you're right there. This is a huge week for you, and this course has a lot of risk-reward in it. How are you managing that as you move through this 3 days of tournament play here to try and secure your spot and get yourself to New York for the semis?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. It's take your opportunities when they're there, but also be conservative when they're not. And today I did that for the most part. I got away with a couple shots. That's golf, you know. A couple of one time I said that's great technology. You know, these drivers nowadays are really expensive, and I hit a drive that wasn't that awesome. It turned out great. So, but yeah, you got to try to make birdies. You know, this format rewards birdies for sure, but you know, you got to avoid the big number. So today I was able to do that. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep playing my game and try to stay in what I do. I can't keep up with these guys anymore. I used to hit it really far when I was younger, but I'm straighter now, and I'm a little more consistent, and you know, all that kind of stuff.
That's part of the fairness of golf too. As you age, get a little older, maybe the drives aren't as long, but you approach different shots differently. That's, I think, the beauty of this tour is from you three, all different age groups, you can be competitive, and it's evident by the fact that you're at the top of the leaderboard. You just have to tweak the system a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, for sure. And that's, like you said, we're all competitors. We want to win. We want to play as well as we can, but it's also knowing what you can do and trying to stay within what you can do and not do something and someone else is doing. Like, man, I wish I could hit it like that. It's like, well, I can't hit it like that. I need to do what I do. So,
well, while we guys got you here, we'll check in on Tony Romo out on 11. And he's battled a bit today. He gets himself in trouble, but keeps getting out. Beautiful putt for Tony Romo. He's a guy that's trying to make his move in the point standings as well. A really talented golfer out here. And I think that's the beauty of this setup, too, is it gets to a postseason, you get to match play. Anything can really happen there, can it, when you get in that type of setting?
Absolutely. I mean, all the guys here are great golfers. It's just, are they going to have their day or that weekend? You know, just like the Pro Tour, right? You don't always have your good day, but when you can scramble like that and make those putts, and those are in match play. Those are, you know, those destroy the other guy's confidence when they make a putt like that to win the hole.
Joe Mauer, we heard, and this will be my final question for you guys before we cut you loose, but we heard, you know, they asked Smoltz and Maddox favorite batter to face for you. Was there a pitcher that you were particularly enjoyed facing that you had some success off?
Yeah, I mean, I guess probably the guy I faced the most was Justin Verlander.
Oh, yeah?
You know, he's in Detroit a long time, and, you know, it's kind of like that chess game, right? You know, you have some good at-bats against him, and you have some not so good at-bats against him, but you're always, you know, trying to, you know, compete, and you understand the person you're going up against, you know, one of the best. So I've always enjoyed that matchup, and I think over the years I've done pretty well off of him, so that was good.
And it makes you feel young. He's still in the league, so you can point to the TV screen and be like, listen, I wasn't that long ago. I was
telling
playing.
you, what he's doing at his age is impressive, so it's pretty incredible.